Good morning, everybody. It's Pam and Bill from Country Living Newbie Custom Decor in Spring Hill, Tennessee. We thought we would do a quick video this morning to show you how to do a transfer. As you know, we carry these transfers by Redesign. They're very easy to use and quite affordable, actually, and you can oftentimes get multiple projects out of one transfer. This transfer in particular had, I think, four sheets in it. So we sell them for, I think this one was $25.99, and I'm gonna get multiple projects out of this. Yesterday on our video, I think we showed a couple of these, and this was a small butcher block cutting board that we painted, and we put a transfer on, and then we sealed it, and then we put various colors of glaze, some gilding wax, just to give it that aged look. We also did a little sanding on it to make it distressed. This one, we actually put Crackle on. So Crackle is a fun product that Dixie Belle makes. We carry it in the 8-ounce jars, and it gives you that aged look. What you want to remember with Crackle, a couple things. The color that you want to come through the cracks is your base coat. So I wanted this, I wanted the top to be white, and I wanted the cracks that were coming through to be gray. So I painted the first coat in this Manatee Gray, and then I applied the Crackle, which in your how-to book that you'll get when you come into the shop, it'll tell you exactly, we'll go over it together, but I'll also give you the how-to book in case you need a reminder or forget anything we talked about. It gives you step-by-step instructions. So you put your base coat on, you let it dry, and then you put your Crackle on. With Crackle, one important thing to remember is you never want to go back and forth with Crackle. You want to go in one direction, and if you want big cracks, you want to go heavier, and you can do this crisscross kind of pattern, which is what I did on here. I didn't go very heavy, but I did this crisscross pattern because I didn't want my cracks to be all in a straight line. If you put your Crackle on like this, when you go to put your top coat on it, the cracks that come through are going to be kind of straight and symmetrical, which, you know me, I'm trying to get over that whole symmetrical OCD thing, so I did go crisscross on this one, and I absolutely love it. So after you put your Crackle on, it does take some time to dry. I actually let this dry overnight because I laid it on pretty thick. When I came in this morning to the store, I got my white color, which, of course, this is a terrible bottle to show you, but I have Fluff in here, which is Dixie Belle's kind of second in line white. So cotton is the sterile white, Fluff comes after that, it's a little softer, and then of course drop cloth and buttercream kind of go in that gray, beige, and yellow direction. But Fluff is very nice, it's just not that real sterile white. So
Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Andrea. So I went ahead and put this on probably a half hour ago. I'm hoping it's dry. When you put a transfer on, you want to make sure your paint is dry, because if it's not, when you go to scrape your transfer on, you're going to take off some of your paint and your transfer will not stick. So I rushed a little bit of this yesterday, and it took my paint off here. You can't see it because what's my motto? Just paint over it, right? I stripped the paint off by accident. I went ahead and painted over it, and then I stuck a transfer over it to hide it. So you don't even know that I made a mistake there. So we're gonna go ahead and do some transferring on this little board. And we're gonna use kind of the same theme that we did here. This one I already started to cut up, but we're just gonna keep going. There's no, real science to this. So
the things you want in your background put on first, correct?
Right, so we're gonna layer this transfer. It's a great point. Just like these, I have the words on there, and then I have the birds and the butterflies over the words. And these kind of tell a story. It's very hard to read, but actually it does, and I did that on purpose. I took one transfer, cut it down the middle, so it kind of made sense as you read it. This one's gonna be kind of a standalone, which I mean, I don't really care if the words make sense or not. It's really just the look that I'm going for. So there's a lot of dead space here, so I want to make sure that I'm not including that when I cut. And if you go over the edge a little bit, that's fine. You'd rather have a little extra that you cut off than not enough.
We just got a Dixie Belle surprise.
You're on our Facebook Live.
You're good.
Okay, sorry guys, we do a quick
We got a quick sign for our
Guys, we got
supplies.
a big order in today. Thank you. You too.
Take care, man.
Got a big order in today, and I was able to order clear wax yesterday, so we should be getting that very soon. So I probably cut that a little too short, but no sweat. Okay, so with the transfer, you want to carefully pull the backing off. Some are more sticky than others, and I've had a couple where if you're not careful, some of the letters or the design will stick to the paper. It's rare, but just know that some of it is very sticky. When you're placing your transfer on, this is not something you want to put down and pull back up. So kind of get it to where you want it before you press it down.
It's nice that the backing is actually clear.
Yeah.
Or translucent, so you can actually see where it's going on your piece.
Right, because when you're doing stencils sometimes with the vinyl, it's black the background, so you're kind of guessing. So I'm just pressing this down, and I can feel, it's pretty sticky now. So here's the stick that comes with, and it's just a, I don't know, just thin piece of wood. It comes with all the transfers. And you basically just take it and rub it on. Sometimes you can hear the design leaving the paper and hitting your project, so you know it's sticking. Most oftentimes you don't, and you'll find that out when you pull your plastic off. But generally, just one good rub. I mean, I'm pressing fairly firm, but not super firm. I'm just really hoping my paint is dry underneath. But it's always fine to show epic fails on a live video, right? Because it happens to all of us. So, I make sure I get the end really good. I've actually never done a transfer over Crackle before. The Crackle is not, it's a little textured, but it's not real textured, so it shouldn't be a problem. And I can see when I pulled this up, the E was sticking a little bit. It actually went back down, but as you pull back, you kind of want to look across your transfer to make sure none of the letters, okay, so right here, which not a big deal, but we'll go ahead and stick it back down, give it another rub, and it's on there now. There's another one. So you want to make sure you do this kind of slow, that way you can put it back down if you missed a spot. And you probably can't hear it on the video, but I can hear the crackling.
Sounds a little bit like bubble wrap.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good sign. When you hear that, you kind of know.
There's separation.
Are you finishing my sentences?
Don't I always?
That's why we make such a good team. So I'm looking pretty good with paint so far. I think my paint was pretty dry. I was kind of nervous about that. Let's turn it around. I'm going to start going from this end. So there's one. Didn't stick. Sometimes the edges, if you don't get them good. Whoop. And rub the paint off right there.
And that's okay.
Not a big deal. I'm probably going to sand it and distress it anyway, but there you go. And then I usually just kind of take my finger or even a soft sponge and kind of go over it. You do need to seal your transfers, so you don't want them coming up, of course. So what I usually use, depending on the project, if it's like these are going to be hanging on a wall, so I'm not real concerned about, you know, water spilling on them or some major damage happening to it. So I'm going to use just Dixie Belle's clear coat. Comes in flat, satin, and gloss, but I really want this flat kind of aged look on this one, so, or matte look, so I'm going to go with the flat. But before we do that, we're going to add one more transfer. So this one has a ton of butterflies on it. And we're just gonna, without taking the backing off, because the backing is kind of stuck on until you start to peel it off. So we're gonna cut one of these.
Without cutting the other butterfly.
Yeah, sometimes they're kind of close. We're gonna peel this off. Now this is the point where if you made a mistake or you don't like the way something looks and you want to cover it up, you know, put your transfer over it. I think we'll go there. I kind of wish I had another small one.
What about a twig or something?
A twig. A little butterfly landed on the twig. Well, I kind of laid this down already. How about maybe one of these? Let's do one of those.
Just maybe something up in the corner.
Yeah. See, these are really close, so. Let's cut both of these out and we'll kind of see. I got the sniffles today. Apologize. I think it's the coffee.
Got a little something with pine cones on it. I guess she's liking the pine cones.
What do you think?
Try turning it the other way.
The other way? Like that?
No, I guess so.
Uh-oh.
Like that you smashed it on
like
there?
that?
That looks great.
So yeah, who cares, right? It's gonna be beautiful.
Right?
Okay. So let's just rub that one on because it's on. Sometimes your decisions get made for you. And oftentimes those are the best ones. It's another rainy day here. Hopefully
It's really coming down.
we're
now.
going to see the sun later, I hope. Let's just do both of these now. Yeah, this one you can't even tell, but I did, these are actually 2 branches. So you can, you know, play with it and make your own, whoopsie, your own design. So that one, I didn't hit very well. It almost looks like I didn't even have any transfer there.
It blends in
Yeah.
so well. Wow, looks good.
Super easy.
Turn it over so we can see it right there.
And then,
So cool.
let's just rub that down. So right after you're done, you can sand your transfer if you want to take some of it off around the edges, make it look distressed, which is what I want to do, especially around that area, which came fine now, where I took the paint off. Because I did that on purpose, right? It was a mistake, but it was a purposeful one. Okay, so next, oh, I forgot this one. That's all right. Oh, I was afraid of this. Oh, there we go. So with Dixie Belle's flat clear coat, a lot of times you'll have separation. You want to make sure you give this a really good stir. So it has that consistent milky look. The gloss separates almost completely, and then the satin is usually pretty uniform. But this one does separate a bit. And you can take any brush for this.
Stir, do not shake.
Do not shake. Same thing with Gator Hide. I know it says to shake it.
Just the opposite of James Bond. Shaken, not stirred?
Oh, okay.
Martinis?
Well,
Never
yeah.
mind.
Well, I knew that about martinis. I didn't know it about James Bond.
Well, that's what he always...
That's
never
what he
mind.
says? Okay. So I'm just applying this around the edges first, so I have a place to hold it while I do the top. Very thin coat. You can use a damp brush or a dry brush. You can use a sponge. You can use whatever you want. You can use your husband's favorite shirt.
Again?
But this will seal it. I'll probably put 2 coats on this. And also by putting this clear coat on, it's going to allow you to use some of the glazes. So you generally want to use glaze over a clear coat so it doesn't get absorbed right into the paint. You can move it around. You can take some back, you know, if you want it heavier in some spots or lighter in some spots. So you can use any of the clear coats for that. But on these, I used a whole bunch of stuff. I used Van Dyke Brown glaze on that one. Actually, I think I used both of these. Grunge glaze.
The glaze is nice. It gives it that antique
This
look
one,
to it.
yeah. This one I painted pink champagne, I think, and then I used this copper bronze glaze. And I also used this red gilding wax, so you can kind of see it there. And you basically just put it on your finger and rub it on. You don't need to seal after that. And we're also going to start carrying some of these products. These are decor waxes. They smell amazing. I don't know what it is about the smell, but they smell really good. I know we're always trying to get you guys to sniff things on our videos. But yeah, these are really nice. They're really creamy, and you can kind of just rub them on to give a little more detail. And that's what this green is on here. So this one, not really sure what I'm going to use yet, but I will put something on it to kind of make those edges stand out. So that's how easy it is to apply a transfer. Of course, we're working with small ones here. We have ones that are big and that you can put on the front of an entire dresser across multiple drawers. We have small round medallion-like ones. I'm getting a shipment, not even sure, probably a few days. I ordered it a couple days ago with many more transfers. We also are going to be stocking these molds. So we'll start using some of those, and you basically just put clay in them. You push clay in them, and then you can put them on terracotta pots. You can put it on wood. You can really stick it on just about anything, and then you can paint it. You can use all these waxes to give it an age look, make it stand out, make it metallic. Lots of fun stuff in the decor world. So we're trying to get as many products in here as we can so you can come in and make your furniture really, really pop.
Hey, as long as this video is about transfers, let me just walk in the other room and show you the big transfer on the butler's table.
Yeah.
This was an early 1900s butler's table that we did some work on, and it was Pam's idea to go ahead and throw a beautiful transfer on this.
Yep, so this is one big transfer, although it came in 3 sections, so it made it very easy. If it didn't, I probably would have cut it anyway, but it came in like 1, 2, 3 sections. I put it on here, taped the whole thing on with some painter's tape, and...
How hard was it to do these sections where they don't touch?
You don't need to worry too much about these. I didn't cut it before. I just went ahead and scraped it on, and then when I took off the paper, I just took a little X-Acto knife and ran it down here and kind of just rubbed it in, and then put the clear coat on top of it. So they're really easy. They're really versatile. Don't be afraid of them. And they're just a good, easy way to make your furniture really look really beautiful. So
Very nice. I
guess we have to unload that. So if you're waiting for something for me, it's here. Come on in and pick it up. I think that's it. We'll see you again maybe tomorrow morning. We'll see if we end up going to the auction or not because of the rain and the weather. It's hard to get things home sometimes. But we'll see, and hopefully we'll have some new stuff for you again tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Take care.